Okay, good afternoon. Good afternoon. So this will be a microscopic examination after some time that we haven't done one. It's a good opportunity to do one. Unfortunately, the hygiene situation is not the best because I don't have gloves and everything is very dirty. So the slides are, it's not perfect at all. And if we see all sorts of life forms, we wouldn't be able to tell for certain, that it's not contamination, but if we see a lot, we'll know. Probably, I try to do it the best that I can. So what we have here is, so first, two semen samples from just now. The first one, actually was fell to the floor, which is very, very dirty. So I just took like another one, straight from the tap, as they say. But so we'll see both. See what we can make of it. Another one from the metal container, like metal aquarium, where most of the water with the Nero, that I didn't destroy. It's there. Now two samples, one from the this clay after the burn and the clay container, and one from the metal after the burn, and another one which is just wax from just the teaspoon that I have left from the pan. So I kind of melted it with kind of like, like the you see in the movies that we do with drugs, like with the metal spoon and the lighter. But it didn't I didn't melt it enough, so it was pretty sturdy. So it was so it's pretty thick. So I didn't cover it. So it's without a cover. Hopefully, it's the wax is translucent enough, so even without, when it's thick, we will still see something. So, let's start. So we start with this semen. Just from now, or 30 minutes ago, and this was actually, unfortunately, it fell to the floor. So we might see disgusting stuff, and it doesn't mean that it's in my semen. But anyway, since I have it, let's take a look. I'll do it very briefly, the whole thing, because I'm kind of I don't have much patience these days for microscopic examination. But it's important to do some from time to time, so let's take a look. The noise from the background is the zombies. Don't they just just do their thing. Don't pay attention. So we use 64 magnification. The old Bresler microscope. So okay, these are sperm cells, of course. Maybe we'll zoom in. I'm having difficulty with the 160 lens to focus. I think it's something wrong with it. Maybe it needs to be fixed. Let's see if we can get something from the 600 or so. Just a second. And that doesn't really do much good. Let's stick to the 64 for now. So this is definitely Nero and a very large one. Mostly in the semen you don't see that large, but this is a very large one, and certainly in Nero, of course. You see like the peculiar shape, like the very good shape, very round shape. Let's try to zoom in. This is the maximum zoom in, but it doesn't. This is the slide that fell to the ground, so the cover doesn't sit very well. So it's like a problem to focus with something that is not a 64. They're definitely a nice one. Here are two more. And another one smaller. I wish I could focus, but it's the problem because it's kind of like it's a faulty slide. This is a disgusting life form, but I don't know if it's like from the ground or. Another very nice one. And on the vicinity we can see many sperm cells, but it will be difficult to actually watch it now, because it doesn't focus. So another sweep from the top. Okay, another nice one. Another one. So we see some Neros. Nice. Two very nice ones close to each other. Okay, so we see some Neros. Okay, it's fine. Let's take a look at the other sample from the semen. This one, so after this was fell to the ground, we've kind of like, squeezed, the tape a little bit more. Sorry for the graphic, for the faint of heart, because I wanted to take it, from the tape and not from the toilet paper, because from experience, if you take it from the toilet paper, you don't know what you'll find in there, because the toilet paper is pretty disgusting. So, so there was a little bit of let's just take a look without too much, Okay, so this one is just, I mean, the main difference is because the previous one fell to the ground, so the cover was completely, you know, smashed, so it wasn't easy to focus. This one, I mean, it will be much easier to focus because it was just, you know, you already see all sorts of like Neros in all sorts of sizes, which is great, and normal, like, I mean, normal to Semen samples, to see of all sorts of shapes, all sorts of sizes. This is a zombie. If you wonder what's a zombie, so this is a zombie. So we see, I mean, normal size Neros. We don't see the like huge ones like before, but I've taken sample from in the past, like from the, you know, like last squeeze, and generally you don't see like, I mean, let's not generalize. These are definitely Neros, no doubt, of various sizes. This is a zombie. Let's try to zoom in here, maybe something interesting. So difficult to, something is wrong with the 160. I don't know. I need a new microscope, or at least to fix this one. So I would see, seems that we need to make do with the 64 for now. Sorry about it. I mean, the microscope is kind of like, I mean, requires like a refurbish or something. These Neros are typical to what you can see like from in the fluids of my body, which means not very like fat and like, actually what we've seen in the other slide, they were like very prominent ones, like they were very big and like fat, which is rare. I mean, mostly you see the thin and like not that you know, sturdy ones. But I think, I mean, maybe it was just a matter of like what could you focus, like, I mean, the problem of like, I mean, what, I mean, it was biased towards like the thing that, I mean, we were able to focus in. Definitely Neo. So overall, I would say my semen is polluted with tremendous amount of life form that should be eradicated. This is sad, but it's not a new thing because I'm always infected with diseases in this, you know, in this Nazi hell. I need to be rescued from the Nazi hell. The good news is certainly that I mean, I have tremendous Neros in my semen as usual, and they are doing their stuff like zombifying the life forms. But of course, I would have wanted not to have the life forms, and this cannot be achieved in Israel. Don't be mistaken, the problem is not the hygiene of this room. The problem is the people that are infecting me with diseases, and they will do it forever because that's what they've done with Titans since forever, until they all died. And they also do it with my children, like like my daughter, 7 and 8 years old, they do it to them. That's why I cannot see them, because they don't want me to protect them from the people that do it to them. Just, I mean, if you ask yourself, like, why the starships are frying you? I mean, so this is why. This is why. This is why. This is why they fry you. Because that's what you do to the strangers. You take their children, I mean, you take their immune system from them, you infect them with disease, and it's not enough, so you also take their children from them in order to cannibalize on their children. And you make sure, using the corrupt court, social workers, police, that they will not be able to raise their children, so they will not be able to protect them. This is why. You ask why the radiation? You ask why humankind is come to an end? This is why. No, it's not evil aliens that just want you to conquer Earth. These are aliens that had enough of the cruelty of humankind. Okay, so now it's sample from the metal aquarium. I mean, the only kind of serious container that is left that that I didn't destroy, even though I destroyed all the wax, which was very important, but the waters are still there. So of course I taken sample from the water. You see zombies, and you always see, of course, Neros and zombies. You see all sorts. Many huge life forms that in itself it's not bad because they feed on them. This is not bad. The Neros feed on those life forms. Probably they were created because all the sodium bicarbonate that I've added in the past, as you remember, we had a problem with oxygen, and it was demonstrated that it actually helps to create the life forms, and we see actually success in that regard, which is fine. And we see quite a bit of Neros of all sort of sizes. So the Neros, they are doing, this is kind of a huge life form that the Neros are either, creating or mutating or zombifying or eating. The relationship with life form is very, very complicated, and this was discussed tremendously in this channel. It's like a new science of its own, how do they treat life forms when they are outside the body and when they do not get any specific commands. What's their default agenda? And this is the answer to this question was, very quickly I understood that it's a whole new science, the ecosystems of Neros and life forms, and this, it's amazing, it's just amazing. Of course, as I described not long ago, one of the amazing stuff that they've done with regards to ecosystems is the actual creation of the titans. And my father tells me, that they also created Homo sapiens. So, just, for the record. Nice, we see, relatively complicated life forms, and the Neros all around. I wish you could zoom in, but there is really a problem, with them. Such a, you lose some of the effects. This is maybe the bicycle bacteria or the train bacteria. I don't know. Tremendous amount of life forms. It's not bad in itself. It's actually good. It's much better than before. It might be of help that actually, it's unlike before. I didn't seal it 100%. I didn't press the cover to the end, and there might have been some kind of air supply. Not a lot, but maybe. Because until now I always completely sealed it, but now it was kind of a little bit loose, and maybe it actually helped the creation of life forms. We don't see huge ones, but fine. Let's try to zoom, anyway, maybe. Oh, there is a problem with the microscope. Difficult to zoom. Sorry, we need to stick to 64. So, overall, not tremendous amount of Neros. We've seen in the past, better kind of a concentration, but we've seen tremendous, still there is tremendous amount of Neros here. And maybe, just one sample, maybe if I've taken other samples from other places, perhaps I mean we would have seen more, but we have seen quite a bit of it. I mean, and what's good is that they are busy. Like I mean, they construct all sorts of like I mean life forms, they mutate the life forms, they eat the life forms, which is good. Like that's the purpose of like the ecological pathway of creating the Neros. So generally, I mean, good. Of course, almost all of it will be destroyed in the next couple of days. So you might ask, so why am I so excited? Because I mean, I'm a scientist, you know. So each like each experiment is by its own, and even if all of them will be used for the application of the bicycle mechanism the next day or two, in order for people to hear my voice, still, I mean, for now, I mean, they've done their thing, which is fine. So now let's take a look at the sample from the wax. This will be the one that will be the most difficult to actually focus because it's so thick. It's actually without a cover for that reason. But we'll see what we can do. If the results will be completely unintelligible, I'll try to create another one, like another sample. It's so thick that I mean, even if there were Neros, I mean, we probably wouldn't be able to actually watch them. We do things that I do look. I mean, you can see things that looks like that, but I mean, I cannot be certain because I cannot. It's so heavy, you know. Like you see these circles that I mean, definitely look like Neros, but. It's just too heavy. These lines are just created by the spoon when I try to kind of like, I mean, to spread it because I've seen it, I mean, it's such a... So here for the first time I can see for certain these are Neros. Yeah, certainly we can see very well that, I mean, they glow through the beeswax. And we see tremendously more here, but still, I mean, it's so thick that it's difficult like, to actually see something. Maybe let's try to zoom, I don't know. No. Okay, so we definitely see Neros now, but we don't know how many exactly because it's so difficult to focus. It's such a thick layer and without the cover, which, you know, helps a lot to focus. Maybe I'll prepare another one, like, I mean, and now I'll kind of boil it like even more. You always hear the zombies, I mean, breaking things or throwing things to the ground. I mean, either glasses that, I mean, you just break, or, I mean, like things from metal. I mean, and I mean, they do it all the time. I mean, now, admittedly, this is kind of like a thing of the director of this cell, that they really like, I mean, to throw, like, I mean, the metallic things to the ground. In, like, other cells, I mean, I've seen so many doing in my life, it wasn't that common. Like I know this shtick, it's not the first time, but I mean, the director here, I mean, it's like his favorite gag. Like, I mean, they do it all the time. Like, I mean, so the thing, I mean, this is like, for sure it will reset the robot, and it will be our mattress, and it'll give us everything, and starships will live, and we will be the masters of the universe. Like, I mean, the only thing you need to do is to throw stuff to the ground. Like, I mean, and so they do it all the time. This just, I mean, throw metal things to the ground. Maybe something to do with, you know, the influence, specific influences of the directing style of here, like the cell. I don't know. Maybe something to do with commedia dell'arte, or I don't know what. Okay, so maybe I'll take another sample from the wax, which I'll try to melt it even more, because it didn't properly melt, so it's so thick. So now to the two samples from the containers that, of course, and initially, I mean, it was mostly the wax. I mean, the wax from the pen. But I mean, after some time, I've also added like just oil. I mean, so it will be easier to relight it. And last night, I've added them a spoon, like, I mean, each from the waters from the container. So it's now, I mean, it should not be pure at all. This is from the clay one. So we have the issue of the too thick material, difficult to focus again. Nice. This is a distorted Nero, but certainly Nero, and you can see even, like, I mean, the focus change. I mean, it's not the same like inside and outside, which is very typical to the Stargate Neros, like the open portal Neros. Probably there are tremendous more that are, I mean, just the smaller ones that, I mean, it's just difficult to focus. So this is also, I mean, like a contoured Nero. What you see inside is burned material. I don't know if it's like actually inside of it, or that it's like on the other side of the portal. What do you say? I mean, difficult to say. It seems that it's like the portal is open, because you see that there is kind of like, I mean, yeah, I mean, it seems that the portal is open. The same goes for this one. It's like a big bias towards the bigger ones that, I mean, that are, because it's so thick. I mean, so, but it doesn't mean that maybe there are much more smaller ones that we just, I mean, cannot focus in, you know, understand? Nice. This, of course, I mean, all this burning is because, I mean, I lighted it several times, not even once. Like, I mean, maybe at least 5 times each. So you see a lot of like burned material. Like it's burned toilet paper, I think, mostly. Nice. And you see smaller ones inside. Nice. So I mean, they don't like look like models, like perfect round shape. But I guess, I mean, they've been through a lot in this crucible, clay crucible, so we can, I mean, forgive them. Nice. Okay, so last one will be from the metal crucible, which is about the same material, like, I mean, what we've just seen, but just from the metal and not from the clay. Not sure it will mean much, but another sample is always, I mean, is always good to get more result. So I'll take another sample from the pure one, but I also need to charge the battery of the light because I see it's kind of like it's getting dim. So I'll also do it as well after we finish here. Definitely clear slide. You see many smaller ones, which is great. Both small and big, which is great. We don't see that much life forms, and because it means that, I mean, there was some life form, in the added material from the metal, but I wanted them to create life forms, so I will work on my symbology. My symbology was probably lacking. The idea is, of course, to create more life forms in the Titans and the Homo sapiens bodies. I mean, to replace the ones that were lost in the frying pan. Of course, it's part of the political, project of setting me and my daughters free from the Nazi prison. So we do everything that we can. So I need to work on the symbology. So that's what I'll do maybe today. To create better symbols, so we'll see more life forms in these small crucibles. Nice Neros. So yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's because of its metal or just, coincidence. It's kind of like a clearer, sample. With, all sorts of Neros, and not just like the big, the big contoured ones, but also like smaller ones, bigger ones, which is nice. These look like potatoes. Potato was the old slang. That's like how my grandmother, which is 90 something, formally, how she calls the tea. I don't know if she knows these are robots, but in the past, before they called it tea or coffee, they called it potatoes for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe you can tell me. But here they actually look like potatoes. It's very old slang, like before the tea and the coffee. You see, you hear the drilling sound. It is like maybe the oldest trick in the book to attack. The Titan. In the past, I've had it like every day, like for an hour or so. But it was greatly diminished in the last couple of months because as the spaceships, I mean, group become closer, they are now hearing this, I mean, much more than I am. So, but I mean, you know, this is like their metzada. They will fight to the end. But I mean, just I mean, in order to help the bicycle mechanism, I'll relight these containers just when we finish with this really nice slide. So I'll relight the containers. So you know, to help the bicycle mechanism, like, you know, be more potent, and also so all of you will be able to hear the drilling sound, and not just me. I mean, and the people that actually started, like, I mean, you know, all over the world, the people that ate the potatoes will hear the drilling sound in your ear. But it will take just a moment, and I'll do it. So okay, nice, very nice. What we didn't see here enough is life forms. So I'll definitely work on symbology and prepare some like nice, very nice, you know, life forms, and also, you know, that like if you want them to really create life forms and not just zombies, you need like electricity to pass through it. I explained it in the past. So I'll actually prepare like from, you know, metal and like, I mean, from the wire, and I'll like I'll attach pieces of clay to the metal, and also paint it with red oil paint, and of course connect everything to a DC circle and a transformer, and this will, and put it like a bulb here, and this will signify life forms, and hopefully we'll be able to see much more life forms later after like more fires. So I mean that's the plan for today. Can't say I'm not. I mean, kind of. I mean, it was. For my part, it was as expected. I mean, you know, the only thing is that obviously, I mean, the halva from the pen, I mean, did not. I mean, it should be spread much thinner, and that's what I try to do now. In any case, of course, it contained much neros, because otherwise, I mean, you could argue maybe, I mean, they came from the metal container. Maybe, because yes, now I mean, here it's like mixed. Like, I mean, in the two that previous slides, it's mixed. But I mean, we should remind you that we have seen neros in the halva, like, you know, just in the where it was very thin. I mean, you could, I mean, as expected. I mean, when like by the end of the slide, the edge of the slide, it was very thin, much thinly like spreaded, and we've seen neros. So it's not that there aren't any. So I mean, I'm almost certain that I'll create another one. I mean, and like use, I mean, more fire. I mean, light it more, so it will be very liquid, and try to spread it very thinly. We'll see much more, and maybe we'll start up by you know, by relighting the various, you know, containers. So I mean, the bicycle, everybody will be able to enjoy the torture, and not just you know, the local people here.